Give me an idea of how you envision the future of pediatric healthcare at CHOP maybe 3 years from now.
Yeah, I think technology's already been at the center of what we do, but it's going to become even more critical in driving some of the change that not just pediatric care, but generally the healthcare industry is asking for in terms of financial pressures we're facing, in terms of workforce shortages pressures we're facing as an industry. And so we really need to use technology to help solve some of these very large problems. So I think in a couple of ways it'll look different. One, the CIO role has now morphed into this, in many places, the CDIO role. And I think what that really means to me is that you're actually in charge of figuring out how to transform clinical operations and business through the use of technology. That's got to be the value add, not the here's a piece of technology and let's figure out what it can do, but it's here's a piece of technology and here's what I think it can do and the value that it could create for the institution. Let's go give that a shot. So I think that's the change. And I think it'll become even more and more business and clinical facing as we move forward. In terms of how it'll change healthcare, it will allow us to meet our patients where they are. Telehealth, remote patient monitoring, care at home programs, virtual rounding, virtual ICUs, virtual nursing, all of those things are going to change the workforce. And it's going to allow us to change and drive care closer to where our patients are, and which I think is a win. I think it will make operations much more efficient in healthcare in terms of there's a lot of manual work that's done in healthcare today. I think the technology can really take a lot of that burden off of people to help us focus on top of license work. Areas like ambient intelligence, right? Voice recognition, transcribing notes, chart review, robotic process automation. That's where we're looking in terms of how can the employee experience, how can the jobs be more fulfilling with tech? And the last piece is that we have always thought about AI as an automation to impact blue collar jobs, for the lack of a better term. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to disrupt clinical work in terms of if you look at radiology, pathology, lab, the ability to diagnose, the ability to write a report. Those are things that AI is going to get very good at in the next 3 to 5 years. We just need to figure out, I think you mentioned this earlier, it's not about replacing the human. It's about augmenting the abilities that we currently have, making us more productive through the use of the AI, while always keeping a human in the loop for make sure it's making the right calls and the right judgment. So I think I said this to a group of physicians, AI will not replace physicians, but physicians that use AI will replace physicians that don't. And that's going to be, I think, true for everyone within healthcare.